to a brand new season of Call It In The Ring. Call It In The Ring 2.0, if you will. I am Jordan. I'm joined here with best friend Ryan. How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
And we have a brand new guest host who you have heard her in an old podcast episode 2 years ago. We got best friend Ryan's wife, Elise. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
You sound excited to be here.
I'm very excited.
I'm excited. I've been drinking whiskey, having a good time. I'm drinking Kessler. It's smooth as silk.
Well, there
Do
you
you
go.
want- Do you want to drink silk? I don't know.
Well, not tonight. I'm being accompanied by a little glass of Moscato. So there we go.
I don't even know what Moscato is. I'm not hip.
It's the wine.
Am I the only one not ruining their body?
I mean, alcohol is not bad for your body if you do it in moderation, right, Elise? I mean,
Small quantities, right? Right.
yeah. I mean, I'm not drinking the whole bottle, but I'm
Yes.
also contradicting myself because I'm drinking whiskey after working out.
Well,
At least it's not beer. So,
right. There you go.
so like I said at the beginning of the show, everybody who was listening, this is the brand new season of Call It In The Ring. We're gonna do things a little bit different here. With Ed, it was a bi-weekly show of just random topics that we picked. For this show, the new version is we're going to do this as a once-a-month show where we are going to talk about the most recent pay-per-view that just aired. And tonight, since it is the party of the summer, we're going to talk about SummerSlam, a pay-per-view that I was so excited to talk about. I don't know about Ryan. We're going to go through the matches, and we're going to discuss what we liked, what we didn't like, and just kind of go with the flow on that. Are you guys excited for this?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
excited. I'm excited. I don't really have people to talk to wrestling with, so it's pretty good. It's gonna be pretty nice. I do want to give a little background here, just real quick. I know I did an episode a while ago with you and Ed, Jordan, but just a refresher. I grew up watching the WWF from '96 until about 2005, early 2006. And then I kind of stopped because I didn't enjoy watching the show anymore. It just seemed more of like a hassle. I felt like something I should do instead of something I wanted to do. And then I got back into it in 2017. I mean, you talked about it, and that's kind of what got you back into watching wrestling again. And my wife, Elise, I guess I'll just refer to her as Elise. So Elise watched wrestling because I watched wrestling. She may not necessarily like a lot of the stuff on that she sees. Am I correct in that, Elise?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like all the stuff that I see, but it always comforts me to know that it's all scripted. So
Okay. But has your opinion changed on wrestling since I started watching again?
yes, I think it has. I think before I just thought it was kind of ridiculous, but now I think I enjoy it a little bit more, learning a little bit more about the characters and how they make the show what it is. So
it's we asked Elise to do this show as well because me and Jordan are very well versed in a lot of the history and things that go into wrestling and everything that builds up. We know like the the lingo and stuff. We're what people call marks. We would not be that if we didn't have the show. Well, sorry, we have the show, so obviously we are marks. But Elise has no background of that. She has no history. All the stuff that she knows is what she's seen in the past 2 years. So just a different perspective to the table.
Which is what I'm excited for because, Ryan, you and I can sit down and talk about WWE for hours, and we're both kind of feeding off each other because of our knowledge. And then we get somebody like Elise here, who I'm so excited because this is our first female voice in the Movie Guys verse of all the shows that we've done. So I'm excited for that, to hear somebody else's opinion about what we're talking about. So, Elise, I have my first question for you.
okay.
So back in the day, in the 90s, you had the Monday Night War, and you had WWF had SummerSlam, which was in August, and that was their big summer event, right? The party of the summer.
Mhm.
Well, to counter that, in June, WCW, they had Bash at the Beach, which was their summer big pay-per-view. What title do you like more? I asked my wife this question. That's why I'm asking you. SummerSlam or
I mean,
Bash at the Beach? Which one sounds better?
I think I like SummerSlam because if we're talking about wrestling, SummerSlam sounds a little bit more, I don't want to say aggressive, but I guess I'll use that for lack of a better word. Whereas like Bash at the Beach, that just sounds, no offense to anybody who's a fan, but that just sounds a little cute. I mean, that doesn't sound like there's going to be any sort of wrestling, that there's going to be anything that we can really take seriously. That might be kind of harsh, but I personally like SummerSlam better.
Bash at the Beach sounds like the party of the summer.
Yeah, see, that's what I was going to say. I actually like the name Bash at the Beach because of the way they have SummerSlam. I agree with you, Ryan.
Okay.
Like, I
Right
mean,
on.
especially the other night when SummerSlam aired, it was like, this is the party of the summer. And I'm like, it's not. So before we get into the matches, I kind of wanted to give my gripes about SummerSlam. I mean, like, they consider this to be the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. Now, Royal Rumble this year in January was in the Arizona Diamondbacks baseball stadium, huge arena stadium. And then we get WrestleMania, but SummerSlam is just in a small little arena. I mean, shouldn't this be outside? Shouldn't this be advertised as a party? Or am I just asking too much? At least, what do you think?
I I don't think it should be held outside just because you never it's just like planning an outdoor wedding. You have no idea how the weather is going to act. Furthermore, I mean, you've got, you know, things like that are outside of your control, like bugs, which may not, necessarily bother everybody. Not everybody's like me, where they're grossed out by bugs, but it may be distracting. If you have flies coming in your face because you're all sweaty, or, um, if you're getting bit by mosquitoes and you can feel it while you're being pinned. I mean, it's distracting. So I like that it's inside. It's also air conditioned for the rest of the fans. I mean, but to your point, when you think of things like summer concerts, a lot of those are held outside in rain or shine. Well, maybe not in rain, but some of them are held in rain or shine, or they have a backup if it does rain. I don't know. I think it's more fitting to have it inside because it's just more, I think, courtesy to the wrestlers who are getting up there and working their tail off. So why put them in an even hotter, potentially hotter environment, more humid environment? Um, and they're not really used to, I think, wrestling outside, but that might not be a totally true statement. I think I like them wrestling inside for summer.
Ryan, what do you say?
I mean, if it's one of their big shows of the year, it's one of those go big or go home situations. I don't know why they don't try to fill this one in another stadium type outdoor venue, because like the WrestleManias are always they seem to always be outdoors now in football
Yeah.
stadiums, because like next year they're going to be in Tampa at the Buccaneers football stadium. This past season they were at the MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. 2017 they were in Orlando at the Orange Bowl, and then the year before that they were in the Dallas Cowboys football stadium, which is an indoor stadium, but that was a brand new big giant complex, so it made sense to go there. But I mean, you would preferably want to have a, a summer aesthetic to it if it's called SummerSlam. But I don't know if they've ever had an outdoor venue for SummerSlam outside of Wimbledon in '92.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like they call it the party of the summer. It's supposed to be fun. It's August. Summer's almost coming to an end. Let's party. Let's have fun. Because I had fun with this pay per view. Now, we're not going to talk about the pre shows here for this one. We may in future episodes. But tonight for SummerSlam, we're not going to talk about it. But we're going to talk about Becky Lynch defeating Natalya by submission in a submission match for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. The match lasted 12 minutes and 35 seconds. Not a big fan of the match, guys, because I feel terrible saying this, but it's like it's another Becky Lynch match. Like Like she's becoming Ronda Rousey now, right? I mean, she's not going to lose. I'm kind of getting sick of it.
I mean, I respect that. I think Becky Lynch has had had it a long time coming because she's always been a very, in my opinion, a very good wrestler. And she was for so long kind of undermined and not given a chance. And now she has this chance. And, mind you, let's be real, she's not going to reign forever. At some point, she's going to lose her title because that's just how it goes. So, I mean, I can understand some people might think it's kind of obnoxious because she's like winning all the time. But in the same respect, like, I don't know, I feel like she deserves this. Like I say, she didn't have any sort of real attention up, up till now. And so now that she's been able to reign in her moment of glory, I think eventually, soon she's going to lose it and we're going to have another champion. But I don't know. I really like her. I'm very biased. I'm probably not the best person to ask that question to.
Well, that's why I was asking you, because this is just us just talking. Like
Yeah.
did this seem like just a regular Becky Lynch match? Like there was no flair, there was no pizzazz. It wasn't like the matches of her and Charlotte in a TLC match that they had last year, or just a ladder match. Like that match is one of my favorite matches, right, guys? Remember that match like late last year when it was her and
Yeah, at
Charlotte like in a
Evolution.
ladder match? Was it Evolution?
Yeah.
I think I kind of remember that.
That match was brilliant. It's one of my favorite matches of all time. And it's like now it's just song and dance. You know what I mean? Now there's nothing. Or I mean, I don't know. Do you guys think I'm overreacting on that?
Well, I think that part of it has to do with how they book Becky Lynch. Now, the big comparison coming out of WrestleMania, or even going into WrestleMania, was to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, again, that's lofty. A lot of people have, oh, the next Stone Cold, next Hulk Hogan, next, what big wrestling figure, whatever. But I think a lot of, I don't want to say like the steam has come off her, because when she still enters, when her music is played and she's coming down the ramp, the crowds still go crazy. She still has some of the most popular signing events and things like that. But just how they're booking her, she comes off this big win where she main events WrestleMania. So she's the headliner, first woman to do that. She beats Charlotte Flair, who a lot of people believe is like the heir apparent to her father, who's going to be pushed to the moon regardless of whatever the situation is. Who a lot of people felt was wedged into that match. She beat Ronda Rousey, who was at that point the biggest mainstream person they have on the roster. And who do they have her feuding with coming out of that, quote, historic moment, is Lacey Evans, a someone who was brought up from NXT, who not a lot of people are even aware of or know of. And they did nothing for Lacey Evans to distinguish her really from the Charlotte Flair clone that, they had Becky Lynch describe her as. And they had her just feud with her for 2 months, and then they joined her up with Seth Rollins and Baron Corbin to finish that feud. And then they just segue her into a bout with Natalya, which, again, Natalya is a fine wrestler. She's a good in-ring competitor. She's just kind of vanilla and boring, So they're not really doing much for Becky to help her along the way. Because like Stone Cold Steve Austin, when he won that title, who did he feud with?
Rock, Triple H,
Well, he feuded with Vince
Mankind.
McMahon. Coming out of it, he feuded with Vince
Oh,
McMahon.
that. Okay, Vince McMahon.
And that is what basically solidified Stone Cold Steve Austin as the guy, and they're not really attempting to do that with Becky Lynch. So I'm not going to put this match sort of being, because I didn't think it was boring. It just, again, like I agree with part of what you said, Jordan, how it wasn't a barn burner. It's not this epic encounter. There are really good moments in it, but then there was also some stuff that kind of drug along. Like there was a sequence where they were doing each other's finishers, sharpshooter into the disarmer. That was nice. sharpshooter on the around the ring post was pretty cool. I've never seen that before. But yeah, overall it's okay match, but I don't put any of that fault on Becky or Natalya.
No, I go on the booking on it. I just want them to do something new, but I feel like the company is changing now that Eric Bischoff's in charge of SmackDown and Paul Heyman's in charge of Raw. I could feel there's a different energy when I watched this pay-per-view. It didn't. Yes, it was predictable because the people that I wanted to win, for the most part, won. I had a good idea, but it just seemed like the wrestlers were more alive. It seemed like they weren't going through their motions in this pay-per-view. I don't know if you guys agree with me on that one, but it just felt different. Or maybe I'm overreacting.
I could not tell, and that's probably just because you guys have more history in this show. But I couldn't tell.
Okay. All right. Well, the next match we have Goldberg defeating Dolph Ziggler in 1:50. I don't care what any of you say. Goldberg is still amazing to me. He always was when I first saw him when I was a kid in 97, 98. He always does squash matches at a 1:50. What do you guys think of this one? Was this one fun? Was this obnoxious? What do you guys feel about this one?
I think this was so obnoxious. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead,
No,
Ryan.
you can go ahead. You go ahead.
I think this one was so obnoxious. Like, so
Come
Goldberg,
on, it's Goldberg.
he comes in and he beats Dolph Ziggler with no question. No question. Dolph Ziggler is
Standard.
on. Huh?
Standard.
She doesn't
I
know
said.
Goldberg. She doesn't know who he is or what his history is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but this
What did you call
Goldberg
him
has
at
done.
dinner? Elias, what did you call
Nothing.
Goldberg at dinner?
Nothing. So we see now you make me want to say it. We see Goldberg defeat Dolph Ziggler. I mean, no questions asked, right? And Dolph continues to get on the mic and say, basically, come back. I bet you can't get me a second time. And he has like 2 or 3 more times. And I mean, at one point, I was just kind of rolling my eyes, like, you're just being a glutton for punishment. Like, he's already embarrassed you. You're not like winning over the crowd and getting more fans because you're asking Goldberg to come back. Like, you're just humiliating yourself. And maybe that was the whole intention. But I don't know. At some point, I was like, all right, let's move on. Let's see something else. So I don't know. I felt like it was obnoxious, but again, I have very little historical background. What did you think, Ryan?
I mean, the match is what it is. It's a Goldberg match. You know, for the most part, what you're getting going into it. This is his, I guess, redemption from the Super Showdown debacle with the Undertaker. I actually enjoyed the bit with Dolph Ziggler. I don't know where it's going, what they plan on doing with it, but it has me interested in Dolph Ziggler, which is the point of doing it. Because I think it would be hysterical if they used this to sort of do a face turn to make him into a good guy. Because that just, to me, seems just ridiculous. But if he does it enough, you're eventually gonna like start liking the guy.
Well, they need to do something because you've said it. I've said it. I'm a big advocate for it. Dolph Ziggler is this generation's Shawn Michaels. I mean, this guy looks like him. He dresses like him. His fucking finishing move is the same as Shawn Michaels with the super kick or sweet chin music for Shawn Michaels. So I just want Dolph Ziggler to be as popular as Seth Rollins, and I just don't think it's ever gonna happen. And it's frustrating.
Well, that's part of the build into this match was he talked about the legends need to go away, and Shawn Michaels tore into him about being a Shawn Michaels wannabe his whole career. And the thing is that putting Dolph as one of the top guys, that is past. That's like, getting caught up on all the stuff that I missed in that decade I stopped watching. His popularity peaked 5 years ago.
Oh, really? Okay.
At Survivor Series, and he's just kind of a guy now that can be trusted to put on good matches because he can sell really well, especially like the spears he was taking from Goldberg. It looked like some damage was being done, and he's just he's what do they call it? He's a good hand. He's someone you can trust to go out for 10 minutes and put on a match that'll entertain the crowd. And even though he loses, it doesn't really affect his standing because he's already, in the perception of the audience, a middle of the road guy.
Which sucks because I've always liked him. AJ Styles, who is the champion coming in as the United States champion, defeats Ricochet at 13 minutes even. I know Ryan's gonna probably disagree with me. I don't know about you, Elise, but I am really over AJ Styles. I kind of wish Ricochet won this one so he could become the United States champion again. Are you over AJ Styles, Elise? Because I'm over him. I'm kind of like done.
I do like AJ Styles, but yeah, I don't know, and this might be kind of silly. I think Ricochet's entrance is really quite cool. And he's shown and he's demonstrated that, I mean, he's a pretty good wrestler in the ring. And I think I wish he would have won as well. I know AJ's kind of been, he's always, going to be one of those top wrestlers that we think of. But I mean, I think Ricochet should have had his moment to shine, and I think he should have won. I agree.
Well,
Yeah,
Elise,
no, that's what I say. Yeah.
Elise, so have you
Yeah.
noticed a difference in AJ now that he's a bad guy? He's a heel now.
I
Is he
don't know if
considered
I've
a heel? Is he considered a
yeah.
heel?
Yeah, he's a bad guy. He's not a tweener or a face or anything. He beat down Ricochet for no reason, and that's like
Okay,
automatic bad guy status.
fair enough. All right, Elise, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I don't know if I've paid enough attention to notice a difference between him being a baby face versus a heel. Um, so I don't know.
I just the reason I'm kind of over AJ Styles is because when I got back into wrestling, because Ryan was talking to me about it, we got back into it. When I first saw AJ Styles, I was like, "Oh, I remember that guy from WCW," and everybody's just kind of sucking his dick, and I'm just kind of getting sick of it. And I guess the reason why I didn't notice that it was a heel turn is because that's how he's always seemed to me. Just this guy that's like, "Yeah, everybody calls me the best in the world. Here's my penis."
Yeah.
I just, that's kind of how he comes across to me. And I think Ricochet and AJ Styles, if they keep working at it, will have some good matches. But they got to add something to it, like a Hell in a Cell or a ladder match. If those two do a ladder match for the United States Championship, that would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be really
Yeah.
entertaining to
That'd
see.
I
be
mean, like,
pretty cool.
that would be great.
I think the issue is like I don't really have any problem with AJ Styles being the bad guy. I think it's great that it seems like they're attempting to harken back to the Attitude Era because that's always held up as like the greatest time in modern wrestling.
Sure.
And the fact that they're trying to build up groups, they're trying to build up trios and factions and things like that. And it's not going to happen overnight, but now you have the OC with
What's that
AJ
stand for, by the way? I'm
Styles,
sorry to interrupt you.
huh?
I'm sorry to interrupt you now. Shut up. Gene and I were watching Raw. What does the OC stand for?
The original club, because you have in New Japan you have the Bullet Club, which all three of those guys are members of.
And Finn
Finn
Balor, too.
Balor was a member of that, and it's still going on over in New Japan. But Balor Club, BC Balor Club, Bullet Club, and then they used to have OG Club way back when it was just Gallows and Anderson, and then when 2016 when AJ first got in, and he got turned into a bad guy to feud with Roman Reigns, and he had Gallows and Anderson as backup. They were the club. So now it's the OC, the original club.
Original club. Okay, thank you. Because Gina was like, "Is it OG for gangsters?" That doesn't make sense. So anyway, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and so like I think it's good because you have the OC, and then they've already had some interactions with the New Day, and I don't know how it's not going to turn into like an actual thing, but on the past Raw, after SummerSlam, they had Braun Strowman come out to save Ricochet and Seth Rollins from the OC. So like they're trying to build up, and I think it's good because they brought back the King of the Ring, so they're doing their best to give people things to do, instead of just.
And it's because of Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman. That's why.
Yeah, but like I think that is a benefit in this match. I wasn't a huge fan of, like, I like that it told a story, and I've read online, I've heard people say that it's kind of dumb to take away one of the legs from Ricochet because his appeal is that he's this daredevil high flyer that does all this crazy shit. But I think like AJ Styles is a heel. You portray him as a smart guy, he's going to take away his opponent's best weapon. But you still had Ricochet doing the creative jumps off the rope and stuff, and he was still getting his stuff in. I really liked the finish too. It kind of came abruptly, as it seemed like the match was taking off because he was like you were just getting the interference from Gallows and Anderson, and Ricochet goes to do like the senton off the top rope, and he gets caught into a power bomb, which gets turned into the Styles Clash. Thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, I think overall, good match, not great.
Bayley defeats Ember Moon and retains her WWE SmackDown Women's Championship at a 10-minute match. She finishes the match with a Bayley to belly on the top rope. I've always been a Bayley fan. I love Bayley. Nobody will ever change my mind. Fuck you is the thing. Bayley's awesome.
Yeah, I'm conflicted when it comes to the. I know. There's no way you can hate a hugger. I'm conflicted. I feel like they're both pretty good wrestlers. I think Bayley, is another one of those wrestlers who in the past has just always been kind of an underdog. The WWE hasn't always given her what she's due, kind of like Becky Lynch, but here lately it seems like she's kind of been coming on top, which is very cool. But Ember Moon's got some neat qualities to her. So I think I was conflicted as far as which one I wanted to win. But yeah, it was a good match. It was a really good match.
I love the name Ember Moon. It's beautiful. That's beautiful. Ryan, what about you, man? Do you like the match? Are you much of a Bayley fan as me? Because I'm a hugger, and I know you are.
I mean, I'm not too high into Bayley. I think she's a very good wrestler. But I don't think they give her enough to do to on the character side of things. Like just like Ember Moon, she's a very good wrestler. They don't really give her a whole lot in the character development. Because can you guys tell me what Ember Moon's character is?
She is a werewolf.
Are you sure?
I mean, that's just me because Moon, and she has red eyes.
They call her the She-Nom, but that's all we get from it. Because I don't even know. Now, granted, I haven't been able to watch consistently the SmackDown and Raws leading up to this, so I don't know if she's had promo time to do anything of note. But I couldn't tell you what. Like, I can tell you what Bayley's character is. She is a fan. She's a wrestling fan who became a wrestler, and she wants to be nice to people, but recently she's starting to get to that point where she needs to stand up for herself, and that's what she's doing. But Ember Moon, on the other hand, I don't know what she's done. I can't tell you what her character is.
I knew what I missed though. I miss my I feel terrible because I call her my girl, but I don't remember her name. Blue Tongue.
Oh, Liv Morgan?
Oh my God, Liv.
Well, she's going to come back to SmackDown, and when she does, she's going to be real.
Oh God, Liv. I don't remember what you're talking about because she lost to. Who'd she lose to that night when she said she's going to come? Charlotte. Yeah. Liv Morgan is my girl. I love Liv. God damn it.
Elise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan is the blonde lady in the Riot Squad.
With the blue tongue.
Oh, okay.
Barbie doll.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to say like Barbie doll, or she always reminds me of like Baby Spice.
No, she's like Harley Quinn. She's like just that blue tongue. She bounces a lot. She's definitely crazy. Funky. She's fine.
I don't know. I think Harley
Um,
Quinn could beat her up, but that's just me.
Shut your mouth. The match that I was really looking forward to for the night was Kevin Owens going against Shane McMahon. And if Kevin Owens lost, he would have to quit the WWE. Shane McMahon comes out and says, guess what? Fuck you, I'm Shane McMahon. So here comes Elias. Why is Elias here? Everybody's Elias. I don't care. And he is now the special guest enforcer. Kevin Owens is not going to win the match, but of course, Kevin Owens wins the match. He does not quit the WWE. I feel they are trying to book Kevin Owens as the new Stone Cold Steve Austin. Why? Because he has the Stone Cold Steve Austin stunner and he's feuding with a McMahon. Call me crazy. I know. I think that's what they're trying to do.
I don't know. I am just so glad that Vince McMahon, or excuse me, that Shane McMahon finally lost. I mean, like this whole, and I've kind of got my own theory behind it as well, and it's probably dark, and I'm sorry if any of you are Shane McMahon fans, but um, this is a guy who is the son of the owner of WWE, and he just gets all this special treatment, and then he has the announcers call him the best in the world, and yeah, I've just been waiting for somebody to shut this guy up. I mean, he is so aggravating. Every time he gets in that ring, he can't wrestle worth the damn. Like, I'm pretty sure I have had no wrestling experience and I could probably wrestle better than he can. Like it's
Oh,
almost pathetic to watch. I mean, it really is. And he's clearly not as skilled as some of their best wrestling. It's so evident. And um and then they brought Elias out. I kind of liked Elias, and then it was just, I don't know. In my head, I thought the only reason they're bringing out a big guy like Elias is because Shane McMahon can't fight. So if Shane McMahon needs a sudden distraction or something, that's why Elias is there to help distract Kevin Owens. Um, because again, I don't think he can fight. But so I was thrilled that Kevin Owens won because I was just going to be so livid if Shane McMahon won. He does not, just because he is the son of Vince McMahon does not mean he suddenly gets, you know, titled to all these special treatments. And he was just driving me crazy. I mean, so I was very thrilled with how this match turned out.
Ryan, I already know what you're going to say. Go ahead, buddy.
Well, what am I gonna say?
I feel that you're going to say, well, that's the point. That's the storyline, Elise.
Oh, well, no, that's totally fine. Like, you don't want Kevin Owens to lose, but I mean, they continued the feud after on SmackDown, so he might as well have lost. It would have been, served the same purpose in the
Sure.
end. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, I was looking forward to this match too because it was, I mean, out of everything on the card outside of the Bray Wyatt Finn Balor, this is really the only match that intrigued me
Mm-hmm.
going in because, as Elise said, they always have Shane McMahon win. And the thing that surprised me was how how much offense they actually let Kevin Owens have against Shane McMahon because they did not do that with Roman Reigns at Super
No.
Showdown. Like Roman Reigns had to sell and make Shane McMahon look like a tough guy, and they did not once do that in this match against Kevin Owens. And I find that odd and fascinating because they're still trying to push Roman Reigns as the guy. He like a SmackDown revolves around this whole who attempted to kill Roman storyline. But they're doing what they should have done with Roman Reigns with Kevin Owens.
No, I agree, and I'm excited because I love Kevin Owens. I've always liked Kevin Owens, and I think they really are trying to bill him as the new Stone Cold. I mean, you guys haven't commented on that I said earlier, but he has the Stone Cold Stunner, and he's feuding with a McMahon. You guys don't see that he's trying to build him as the new Stone Cold. You guys don't agree with that?
No, I agree. I agree. It's evident with the examples you gave. It's just thing that fascinates me is like this seems to me, I don't want to say that they're giving up on their big, like Roman Reigns is always in the top matches, always at the top storylines and things like that. But it's good that they're shifting away because the crowd, when Roman Reigns came back from his treatments, his cancer treatments, they kind of shoved him back in, and they kind of made him seem like this unstoppable force, because I don't think he's lost a big match since he got back. But they're kind of pushing him to the side now and in favor of Kevin Owens, because the fans are reacting more to Kevin Owens than they have to Roman Reigns since he came back. And I think that's
Yeah.
good. I think that's very good that what they're doing with Kevin Owens shows at least a willingness to change things.
Well, a match that I was not interested in at all was Charlotte Flair, who defeats Trish Stratus by the figure four lock at 16 minutes and 40 seconds. Just 5 seconds shy of being the longest match of the night. I can't believe I'm saying that because I didn't think Trish had it in her. So let me say my piece very quickly. I was upset because like Trish was never a great wrestler back in the day, but she did do some awesome things to pave the way for women in wrestling. However, though, I don't think she can go against Charlotte Flair for a very long time. This is going to be another Goldberg squash. And the first like 5 minutes, it felt that way, but then they kept going and going and going, and I felt myself just so into this match. Were you guys into this match? Just as much as I was later as it went on, or you guys were sick of it?
This was the match of the night for me.
Wow, the match of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Wow, it was
Yeah.
Crazy. I definitely didn't think that. Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of pulling for Trish. Charlotte Flair again seems to be that other wrestler that, just earns the spotlight because she was just born into it. I mean, she was just born into the family of wrestling. So I was kind of hoping that Trish would win. But she did not, unfortunately. But I thought that it was still a pretty good match. They seemed to, I think, put on a pretty good show between the two of them. But yeah, I was disappointed. I was kind of wishing that Trish would come through.
Now it's
And this
interesting that you
is
said that because Ryan says it's this match. So I'm really curious here what Ryan has to say about how
Yeah.
this is his match.
no, it's basically what Jordan said. How it kind of it meanders along for the first, I would say, 5 minutes of the match when they're getting things going, and then like that last 11 minutes or so is just like I did not expect it. I did not expect like them to do what they did, where Trish Stratus is taking these bumps, looks like they hurt, and Charlotte is selling like crazy for her. And I on paper and looking at them side by side, I would not believe Trish Stratus could actually be in a like could
Hold it
actually
candle,
fight. I could actually
Yeah.
beat up Charlotte. But they did what they're supposed to, and they told a story, and I bought in, and I believed it. For a second, I thought they were going to have Trish Stratus win. It would have been the wrong decision, booking wise, but I thought they were going to do it at certain points, and
Yeah.
yeah,
And then she had her do Charlotte Flair's move against her. I don't know why I liked it. At least I agree with you. I don't feel it's the match of the night, but it was just that story that they told that Ryan said. That's like
Mhm.
really good. It was like, okay, come on. I mean, like this Trish hasn't wrestled in a while. There's the Charlotte Flair. Say what you will about her, but she's in her fucking prime. Like,
Mhm.
come on, it's gonna
Yeah.
be a squash. You know what I mean? She's just gonna hurt her. And
Right.
out of nowhere, Trish is like, "No, I have these lady balls here, and I'm gonna kick your ass."
There you
And
go.
I was so happy for it.
Mhm.
now with no
No, I
frame of
agree.
reference, Elise,
What?
with no frame of reference, because you don't know who Trish Stratus is outside of this match.
I
Um,
mean,
would
I know that
you?
she's not somebody that's typically around that much. I know she was a new face, that's for sure. Go ahead.
Okay, from what you saw in this match, do you believe that she is one of the best women's competitors that WWE has seen?
I would say so.
Okay, because that's how they like to. That's one of the labels they like to put on her, is like the one of the best divas they've ever had.
But in
Would you agree?
reality, no, because in
No.
reality, she was in her bra and panties, walking on all fours, barking like a dog for Vince McMahon because she was fucking Vince McMahon on the side in a storyline. She
Granted,
she
that was near the beginning of her tenure.
yeah, the beginning Trish Stratus was the slut, and at the last few years she started to say, "You know what? I'm more than just tits and ass, and I'm going to put on some interesting matches." But in my opinion, they were never great. Ryan, I feel like you're in my corner on this one,
Oh yeah, most
but
of
I could
women's
be
wrestling in that era was not very good.
no,
But they
it
also
was not
weren't asked. They were also weren't asked to be wrestlers. They were asked to be hot and learn a couple moves.
true.
Yeah.
So I mean, like that's what I think Trish Stratus was, and I think something about her was just like, no, I have more to give because you also had somebody to go off of. Her Rock to her Stone Cold, if you will. She had Lita, and Lita was a very Ricochet kind of character, you know, at least like very aerobatic. She was always
Mm,
jumping around, and those two had some good matches over the course of a year or two. So,
mm.
um, also, yeah, Mickey James and blah, blah, blah. But all right, let's get towards the end of the show here. We had Kofi Kingston, who goes against Randy Orton in a match that I had no interest in at all. It ended in a double countout, so Kofi Kingston retains his WWE Championship at 16 minutes and 45 seconds. It is the longest match of the night. Just like Becky. Am I the only one? Are you guys over Kofi?
I feel it. I'm starting to feel a little burnt out from him. I mean, I think it's great that again he's been able to kind of reign for a while. Because I think, after he got his title, there were a couple of matches after that where I think Ryan and I thought, is WWE just going to take it away? He just got this. He's really hasn't had it for very long. But now I'm starting to think, his time of reign is going to be ending here soon. Um, so I mean, I think it's good for him, but yeah, I think I am kind of over it. It's like, okay, we know you're good. We know you've been the champion for a while. But it's time to move on.
Yeah, because like when I first got back into wrestling, when Ryan got me back into it, the WWE champion was oh god, who's that fucking guy, Ryan, that I hate?
Jinder Mahal.
He's yeah, thank you. He's not even in the show anymore. Um
He's not. That's a good point.
yeah, well, I mean, he's running after R-Truth for the 24/7 title, which is the worst title in the history of wrestling.
You are
But
incorrect, sir.
what's worse than that?
Well, it's not a bad. Like it doesn't look very good, the title itself, but it's actually one of the more entertaining things that they've had on their programming
It's
in the
one of
past
the
few years. At least since I started watching again.
not entertaining. It's very annoying, very stupid, and very groany. Like I'm
I
like,
guess.
oh.
I
But
guess it's a
anyway,
matter of perspective.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't find it fun. But my whole point about Jinder Mahal was when I first got back into wrestling, Jinder Mahal was the WWE champion, and he was a bad guy. And I like it when legitimate bad guys, not like Stone Cold or like The Rock bad guys, that are faces and heels in a way, like baby faces and heels, but like a legit bad guy. Like Daniel Bryan is a great bad guy champion because you want him to lose so fucking bad every pay-per-view, so you're at the edge of your seat. Kofi Kingston, he's going against Randy Orton. They tried to go back into their archive footage and be like, "Oh, hey, guess what? These guys wrestled against each other like 9 years ago. Let's just put this in here." And it's like Randy Orton's not going to win, so why? Why? It was nonsense to me to have them wrestle.
It's just,
Nonsense.
you have to create a storyline, and the thing they've been doing is they don't build for the future; they build for the now. So, like a lot of the storylines, like they did it with Samoa Joe, where he just attacked Kofi, 3 weeks before the pay per view, and that was their storyline. Dolph Ziggler came out and said it should have been me 2 weeks before their match, and that was their storyline. And they rushed this one to get a match together on SummerSlam, and obviously you want to have a sort of high profile wrestler in that title match for a big pay-per-view. It's like they had Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. This one they're going to have Randy Orton, because Kofi Kingston may not be that top guy, that big name that's been a top guy for a while. So I can understand why they picked Randy Orton. I think if they have Randy Orton beat Kofi Kingston for the title, that I personally think that would be a big mistake, because I think with Kofi Kingston and the fact that he is super beloved by the audience, I don't think a lot of people are burnt out on Kofi Kingston. I'm not burnt out on Kofi Kingston being champion. I think he could conceivably go until even the Royal Rumble before he loses the title. But they could use this as an opportunity to build someone up as the top heel of SmackDown, like the big bad you have to beat. I think it's going to be Brock Lesnar. It's going to suck that they're going to do that. What they could use Drew McIntyre in that place and make him actually seem like the quote Scottish psychopath, as they label him.
God damn it, you just blew my fucking mind, Ryan. You're right. Brock Lesnar's going to go to SmackDown in October, isn't he?
Yep.
Is that
Because I
actually
think no, well, he's going to be on SmackDown for their first episode on Fox. That's confirmed. But my theory is what they're going to do is they're going to move him to SmackDown, and their big thing on the first episode is he's probably going to beat Kofi Kingston for the championship, and then he'll go into Survivor Series champion versus champion, where they get the blow off match against Seth Rollins, where the titles aren't on the line, and they can use that as like the end of the rivalry match, to where it doesn't really affect any outcome.
right? They're that stupid. They're gonna do this.
They might, they might not. That's just what I feel.
Oh, you're so right. That's gonna happen. Fuck. Oh, okay. Next match is the match. Maybe not the match of the night, but the entrance of the night. The Fiend, terrible name, versus Finn Balor. The entrance was longer than the match at 3 minutes and 20 some seconds. What do we feel of the Fiend? I mean, this entrance is all over social media. People are saying this is the greatest thing.
So Elise, when we were watching it, what were the words you used to describe what you saw?
I'm going to have nightmares. I mean, I literally said that out loud. He legitimately scared the shit out of me. I mean, oh man, he looked very, very scary. And I kind of thought this was the match of the night. Well, see, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if this was the match of the night or the very last one, but um, this was very, very cool. I thought his entrance was pretty stellar, and the lantern that he's holding, and it used to, it's the head of, the wrestler that used to be the old Bray Wyatt. I mean, oh man, it kind of made my skin crawl. But so I thought him coming back like this was pretty cool. I kind of tipped my hat to him because he had to wrestle in that mask. I imagine that was probably not one of his favorite things to do, but he sold it pretty well. And he even did certain characteristics like Bray Wyatt. When he goes in the corner, he flips upside down and is, hit so that his hands are on, the mat, and his head is kind of upside down. I mean, he still did some of those characteristic things. I thought that was neat. But I will say, Finn Balor has shown on more than one occasion that he can fight, and he can fight well. So suddenly this big scary guy comes out, and like suddenly he forgets to fight. Come on. Like that to me almost, I get Bray Wyatt is coming back after not wrestling for a while, which by the way, what's with this Blues Clues show? So weird, so cheesy. It needs to stop. It's so weird. Like every single time I watch it, I just roll my eyes. But like this and this entrance and who he's become, like that is cool. And nowhere do I see this in like this dark children's show that he does. Anyway, so Finn Balor sees this guy and he's just afraid. And then he's just like, he forgets how to wrestle. I mean, I get it. The WWE is trying to show you that Finn is scared of the Fiend. And I get that. But like in the same respect, I don't know, it kind of put Finn Balor in a bad light. I mean, he kind of just stomped, I don't want to say stomped all over Finn Balor, but Finn Balor became, somebody who had a title or somebody who had a reputation to suddenly somebody who's just needed to further a storyline. It was kind of disheartening to see.
Well,
Um, but I did think this was really cool.
what's going to happen in real life is Finn Balor is going to be gone for a little while. I mean, that's already been confirmed. I was reading up on the Observer and other wrestling stuff online. Finn's done. That's what I was reading. I don't like that. What they should do, what they're building up for, what they should give us as a big pay-per-view event is the Fiend versus the Demon.
Oh yeah, that would be really cool.
That's what
And
needs
we
to happen.
actually didn't know if he was going to come out as the demon or not because we knew he was going to that
No,
Bray Wyatt was going to be different.
well, that's the thing, though, is that would have been a good storyline. Have Finn, the man who can do extraordinary things, whatever, extraordinary things. Sorry, and then the demon part, right? Have this man be absolutely terrified, get his ass kicked, let him go away for a few months, and let him come back as the demon versus the Fiend, and this could be the Demon's first loss. Ryan, you haven't spoke. What do you feel about this match?
No, the entrance was really badass. I don't throw that word around lightly. Um, the match itself, I wish it was more of a quick squash match than what we actually got. I also do wish it was the demon, because I think that would be, because going to Lisa's point, you could see that, like, the point of this was to elevate Bray Wyatt up to a lofty status with his demolition of Finn Balor. But Elise is saying that in her eyes, it didn't raise Finn Balor, it didn't raise Bray Wyatt, it lowered Finn Balor. So it did for her, it did the opposite of what it was supposed to do. But I think if he would have come in and he would have beaten, not squeaked out a victory, but like beaten the demon, I think it would have done a lot more. Now, granted, they didn't have enough build up for that, and if they have a Hell in a Cell match at Hell in a Cell, that would probably be more epic, like a more epic encounter. But the match itself was kind of so in terms of how things were booked. The neck breaker, I don't know what you call it, where he twists his neck.
Oh yeah, that thing. Yeah.
That should have been near the, like, he should have done that after the match. Like, after he put the mandible claw in, made him pass out. As Finn is groggily coming to, he could have snuck back into the ring and twisted his neck, and they would have had to have carried him out or something like that. But it just seemed that was weird. That was just a
Why the
weird
hell they
thing.
do the mandible claw? I mean, that's just that's so stupid that only Mankind or McFoley could do it.
Well, he did it to McFoley on the reunion episode, so it's kind of like a passing of the torch, and it's sort of like I don't say like a callback or something, but it's giving him the mandible claw is sort of an allusion to the origins of the Mankind character, because Mankind was supposed to be like this basement dwelling monster, of the shadows, and like that. The mandible claw, McFoley explained on the pre-show, is supposed to be like a paralysis thing. So it's supposed to strike even more fear into your opponent as they pass out. They know they can't do anything about it.
It's just two fingers going in your mouth. How that makes you pass out is beyond me.
Mick Foley says that it's the two, so it's your middle finger and your ring finger, and they're pressing down under the tongue. And then with your thumb, you're pressing up under their chin, and there's some sort of nerve there. Whether this is true or not, that's how it's described in kayfabe storyline. This is how it's supposed to work, and it pinches a nerve, and it causes enough pain where it kind of paralyzes you, to where you can't really do anything. You may not be like paralysis, your legs stop working, but so much pain that you can't really, move to stop it, and then it'll eventually suffocate you, so you'll pass out.
I just did it while you were talking, and my chin just hurts. I'm fine.
But yeah, you're obviously well. You're not a trained professional, Jordan. You're not doing it properly.
What the fuck ever. All right, Seth Rollins. Yeah,
Don't try this at home.
Yeah,
Yes.
the main event again since Wrestle fucking Mania. We get Seth Rollins against Brock Lesnar, a match that we knew that Seth Rollins was going to win. His ribs were injured. Yeah, just like Becky Lynch's fucking knee was injured, right? I am so fucking sick and tired of Brock Lesnar. Will somebody just please get him out? I hate Brock Lesnar. This guy's annoying as shit. He's fat. He's no longer. He can't speak. That's why he has Paul Heyman. He's red when he gets all irritated, and it's funny. And all he can do is throw German suplexes. That's it. Fuck this guy.
And it's funny because even though he literally says absolutely nothing, that you're describing how annoying he is, I just think that's comical. Like that, I feel like that in and of itself should, receive some sort of reward. Like you are one of the most annoying wrestlers ever, and every time you come out, you don't have to say a thing, and you annoy the shit out of absolutely everybody. I love, oh gosh, what is his,
Paul Heyman.
what's his talker's name?
Paul Heyman. He's the guy
Paul
that's
Heyman,
in
yeah.
charge.
He is so good. Okay, so yes, like I am also getting burnt out on Brock Lesnar, and I am kind of glad that Seth Rollins beat him because somebody needs to shut him up. But like, ah, that man just speaks so well. Like if you ever listen to the techniques that he uses to talk and to, make his point, like it always puts me, this sounds so cheesy, it always puts me in awe just listening to like how he portrays his point and describes Brock Lesnar. It's awesome. I think it's fantastic. But to your point, I agree. Brock Lesnar is like he's this other big wrestler that like nobody can defeat, and it just gets to be so obnoxious. Like nobody is that good. Nobody is so good. Even Asuka lost, and that woman did not lose for the longest time. Like nobody is bulletproof. Yet Brock Lesnar, like anytime somebody comes up to him, he'll beat a motherfucker. Like he'll put him away. He will win, and it's annoying. So I was really glad that Seth Rollins won. However, how he won is mind-boggling just because, to your point, he came out and he had this band across his ribs, which is supposed to do what? I'm not really sure. When you break your ribs, you can't exactly put a cast over it. They have to heal on their own. And then at one point, Brock Lesnar takes him by the band and just throws him around. I mean, it was a little ridiculous. But I mean, I like the underdog becoming a hero. It's just I don't think it was very well done.
All right, now we're going to give Ryan a chance here to talk about how wonderful Brock Lesnar is. Go ahead, Ryan.
Well, I mean, he is the greatest wrestler to ever exist when we're
Forget
talking about
you.
charisma and skill in the ring.
Good grief.
You're not even speaking truth. You're speaking lies. I mean, and I'm dead serious. I know you don't like him.
I'm speaking in alternate facts, sir.
Goodness.
Do you know?
No, so yeah, I don't really care about Brock Lesnar. I think when he's interested in a match, he does very well. He always puts on entertaining matches when he cares to. There's just a lot of stuff where he kind of phones it in, and this match, I liked it, but it didn't really do anything for me because I knew Seth Rollins was going to win. The intrigue was how was he going to win. I am surprised they gave him the clean victory where it's pretty. I mean, it's pretty finite. Like Seth Rollins beat Brock Lesnar, and that's that.
Yeah,
There were no shenanigans involved.
Yeah,
but I mean,
you're right.
The best, I think, the best thing about this match was how when it started, the audience was pretty disinterested as well. But as the match progressed and got ramped up further and further, the audience really bought into what was happening. And when Seth Rollins won the match, I'm not saying they blew the roof off the joint, but they were ecstatic that the good guy won. And that's impressive in and of itself. But I don't like I knew Seth Rollins was going to win, but I don't say I couldn't wrap my mind around it, but everything leading up to it just made it seem like there's no way he should win because for 2 weeks we just saw Brock Lesnar destroy him, and then when they had their match, he really didn't like he had his ribs taped up and things like that, but that didn't really, from my perspective, didn't really play an integral part of the match, you know?
You're right. Any match that Brock Lesnar's in, I don't care. And it makes me not like Seth Rollins. I like Seth Rollins. I really do like Seth Rollins. My wife has said that if it wasn't for Finn Balor, Seth Rollins would be a close second to her boy toy, which that's okay. I can deal with that.
Nice.
It's like I just really despise Brock Lesnar. And this man's been wrestling since 02, and he doesn't even like the WWE. That's why he left before. And I'm just sick of him. He's not a wrestler. And every time that he's the main event, it just makes me feel nauseous. It's like, just go, please. I kind of feel the same way about Ronda Rousey. I liked Ronda Rousey when she first came around, but after a few months, it's like, you know what? Some of the female wrestlers are right. You don't deserve the title shot that you have, and you don't deserve the championship. You've been here for 2 months, and we've been here for, 5 years. So it's like, yeah. So overall, I really liked the SummerSlam. This was better than last year's. It was predictable, but I felt that the wrestling was overall better, and I had more fun watching it for me. You guys feel the same way at all?
I felt like I had fun watching it. I thought that was I thought it was a pretty good show overall.
Better than last month's, Ryan. Did you have fun watching this one?
I mean, it was enjoyable. I wouldn't say it was a great pay-per-view or anything. It is good. I mean, I'm happy there wasn't a shenanigans outcome just for the sake of it, a swerve just for the sake of a swerve. But like overall, yeah, it was enjoyable. The outcomes were kind of what I thought they were going to go with, and things like that. Um, the main issue I had with this one was the amount of people that were left off the show. I think that they could have very easily formulated it a different way to include a bunch of the bigger names. Like, how can you have this pay-per-view that's supposed to feel big time and it's supposed to be the second largest pay-per-view of the year, but yet you don't have Roman Reigns on it. There's no Braun Strowman. There's no Drew McIntyre. There's no Samoa Joe. There's no tag team matches to speak of. I mean, you get the one on the pre-show, but that was announced the day of, I think, of the pay-per-view, where you have the women's championship, women's tag team titles put on the line. But like, there's no Asuka or Kairi Sane. There's no Revival, the Usos, the New Day. There's no Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, no, they really got to get their act together next year, because next year it's going to be in Boston at the Boston Celtics Stadium, arena. So hopefully we'll get something different, right? Next year, hopefully.
Hopefully, I mean, hey, who knows? In a year's time, the whole programs may look completely different with how they're being run by Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff, or those two guys could not be there anymore. Who knows?
Who knows? It's the WWE. It's crazy. What's not crazy is we wanted to say thank you to everybody for listening to this episode here of the new season of Call It In The Ring. Remember, every new WWE pay-per-view that comes out, we will be reviewing. No, we will not be reviewing NXT or NXT UK. I don't know if we'll get into the over the seas, like the Crown Jewels or any of those. I don't know. That'll be for later announcements. But for right now, we're just talking about the main pay-per-view. So our next episode for September will be Clash of the Champions. Is that right, Ryan? Clash of the Champions of September?
Yeah, October is the Hell in a Cell.
Okay. So always be aware that on Boom, when Sunday happens, our episode will come out sometime that week for that most recent review. And you'll hear me, you'll hear best friend Ryan and Elise, or best girlfriend Elise. There you go. Right there. I just did it.
What sort of nickname would you prefer, Elise?
You just call me Ryan's wife or Elise. I get that. It's weird. My parents gave me this nickname when I was born. It's Elise. I don't know what my real name is.
Anyway.
That was a joke. I'm sorry. That was a bad joke.
Yes, Jesus.
We
Anyway,
we could come up at some point. We could come up with nicknames for each other. Like Elise
Right.
could be like she could be Ears.
It's kind of gay
Always
though.
attacking the ears.
Well, you have bionic ears.
I mean,
We got
I'm
everybody. Thank you so much for listening to this most recent episode. Making sure to check out movieguyspodcast.com. Download this episode and many others on iTunes, on Spotify, and iHeartRadio, and also on movieguyspodcast.com. Check us out on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. Just search for Movie Guys Podcast. We are the logo with the popcorn with the headphones around it. You can check out our show, Called in the Ring. Also, our main show, Movie Guys Podcast, our brand new show coming up here next month called Stream On, and also For Your Distraction. Thank you so much for listening. Ryan and Elise, thank you so much for joining me for this episode, Call in the Ring, and we'll be back next month for Clash of the Champions. Have a good night.